I know they accuse me of pride, and perhaps of misanthropy, and perhaps of madness. Such accusations, which I will punish in due time, are laughable. It is true that I do not leave my house, but it is also true that its doors, whose number is infinite, are open day and night to men and also to animals. Let whoever wishes enter. You will not find feminine pomp here or the bizarre apparatus of palaces, but you will find quiet and solitude. You will also find a house like no other on the face of the earth. Those who declare that there is a similar one in Egypt are lying. Even my detractors admit that there is not a single piece of furniture in the house. Another ridiculous statement is that I, Asterion, am a prisoner. Shall I repeat that there is no closed door? Shall I add that there is no lock? Besides, I have set foot on the street on some evenings. If I returned before nightfall, it was because of the fear inspired in me by the faces of the common people, faces as pale and flattened as an open hand. The sun had already set, but the helpless cry of a child and the rough prayers of the flock indicated that they had recognized me. The people were praying, fleeing, prostrating themselves. Some were climbing the stylobate of the Temple of the Axes, others were gathering stones. Some, I believe, hid under the sea. It was not in vain that my mother was a queen. I cannot be confused with the common people, even if my modesty would have it. The fact is that I am unique. I am not interested in what one man can convey to other men. Like the philosopher, I think that nothing is communicable through the art of writing. Bothersome and trivial details have no place in my spirit, which is capable of great things. I have never retained the difference between one letter and another. A certain generous impatience hasn't allowed me to learn to read. Sometimes I regret it, because the nights and days are long. Of course, I have no shortage of distractions. Like a ram about to charge, I run through the stone galleries until I roll to the ground dizzy. I crouch in the shade of a cistern or at the corner of a corridor and play fetch. There are rooftops from which I let myself fall until I'm covered in blood. At any time, I can pretend to be asleep, with my eyes closed and my breathing powerfully. Sometimes I actually fall asleep. Sometimes the color of the day has changed when I open my eyes. But of all the games, the one I prefer is that of another Asterion. I pretend he comes to visit me, and I show him the house. With great reverence, I say to him, "Now we return to the previous crossroads," or "Now we come out into another courtyard," or "I was right that you'd like the gutter," or "Now you'll see a cistern filled with sand," or "You'll see how the cellar branches off." Sometimes I'm wrong, and we both laugh heartily. Not only have I imagined these games, I've also meditated on the house. All the parts of the house are present many times over. Any place is another place. There isn't a cistern, a courtyard, a trough, a manger. There are 14. They are infinite. Mangers, troughs, courtyards, cisterns. The house is the size of the world. Or rather, it is the world. However, by dint of wearying myself through courtyards with a cistern and dusty gray stone galleries, I have reached the street and have seen the Temple of the Axes and the sea. I didn't understand until a night vision revealed to me that there are also 14 seas and temples. They are infinite. Everything exists many times, 14 times. But there are two things in the world that seem to exist only once. Above, the intricate sun, and below, Asterion. Perhaps I created the stars and the sun and the enormous house, but I no longer remember.
Every 9 years, 9 men enter the house so that I may free them from all evil. I hear their footsteps or their voices at the bottom of the stone galleries, and I run joyfully to find them. The ceremony lasts a few minutes. One after another they fall without my hands bleeding. Where they fell, they remain, and the corpses help distinguish one gallery from the others. I don't know who they are, but I know that one of them prophesied at the hour of his death that my Redeemer would one day come. Since then, I have not been troubled by loneliness, because I know that my Redeemer lives and will finally rise from the dust. If my ear could reach all the sounds of the world, I would hear his footsteps. I wish he would take me to a place with fewer galleries and fewer gates. What will my Redeemer be like, I wonder? Will he be a bull or a man? Will he perhaps be a bull with a man's face? Or will he be like me?
The morning sun glinted off the bronze sword. Not a trace of blood remained. "Will you believe it, Ariadne?" Theseus said. "The Minotaur barely defended himself."